Today is Wednesday, May 15th, 2024. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is our recap of Survivor 46, Week 12.
This episode's titled Mama Bear. That was spoken by Maria. Previously on Survivor, Venus found a hidden immunity idol. Maria goofs the choice for the rewards. That ends up having an impact on her.
On everyone.
Venus smacks Maria, just calls her a farce at Tribal Council, and Venus gets voted out. After Tribal Council, night 21, Q declares, I butchered Venus's name. So he knew he goofed it. That was quite an odd spelling.
Well, they didn't show us him or her saying much to him, but I guess she did, huh? I don't know how she knew it was his writing, but probably.
Well, I don't know that she did. He knew that he had goofed it when he wrote it. I think that's all he was saying. And Ben declares that he voted for Kenzie. He drew a blank, he says.
I drew a blank, so I wrote your name, Kenzie.
Couldn't remember what I was supposed to do. Slip of the brain, the lack of sleep. So they go off to have a chat. What did you think of that?
Not much.
Did you buy any of what he was saying?
Really.
That was
pretty tough to buy.
Kenzie told him, you promised never to write my name. Given the first opportunity that you've got some kind of brain fog active at Tribal Council, you write my name.
You write my name.
How does that happen, she asked. She was bum-puzzled for sure with his choice.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I would think most everyone would have a problem with that explanation.
It was funny, too, because I think there was... What was it? Was that extra video? We see Q saying, I was supposed to vote for Kenzie. So they both goofed somehow.
Oh. Well, then there was discussion of voting for Kenzie.
Yeah, and Ben just was like, was that me or was that Q? I better vote for Kenzie.
Who did that?
And Kenzie declares,
what did they say?
That's the first time I've gotten a vote the whole season.
Well, now she knows at the very least that he will write her name.
Okay, what about Maria's breakdown? What'd you make of that? Venus dragged her character through the mud at Tribal Council.
They didn't show us that much of it. So I don't know if it lasted very long, if they were just only wanted to show a little bit of it because they pulled her right back out of it.
Yeah.
And
so... Seems like, given the edit that we had, there was some awfully thin skin at work there. And somehow Venus really got under it.
I think she was due. She's been fairly calm for a while now, so I think she was probably due some kind of breakdown or something.
So it was that.
I think Venus knew right where to hit her.
She gets comfort from Liz and Charlie and Q.
Yeah, and they just say, oh, yeah, and let it go. And so she did. She moved on. If for no other reason, just to not hurt her game.
Yeah, they celebrate the final six a little bit, and then we cut back to Maria's confessional, and she's declaring, I am a force. If you aren't targeting me, you're making a mistake. That made you happy, right? You had her to go.
Yeah.
Night 21 at the fire, Ben's got a panic attack again.
I have to give it to Kenzie that she doesn't bear any ill will for him writing her name down. She did what she always does for him, and that says a lot about her as a person.
So I guess these have continued, right? From the first one they showed us where she helped him out?
Yeah, he talked about an experience he had camping when he was young, and I wonder if being outside like that, like camping, which they basically are, is triggering a lot of this. It's not good. It's obviously having a mental effect on him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't know how he keeps going with it, and not resting and not sleeping, or Kenzie either, for that matter.
She's definitely helping, holding hands. breathing with him, walking around if that's what he needs, or if just the hug of help.
Well, luckily, I do not know night terrors, and I'm actually very glad I've not had to deal with that.
Or panic attacks, yes.
Yes, that too, because a lot of people in my family do have panic attacks, and it's not fun.
Sunrise, Liz declares, I have had a BM. Woohoo! Celebrate, good times.
Oh, I was going to say poop for Jen.
Liz tells us with that event behind her, she is now ready to play. Set it to 11. The full Liz is here.
All right. She ready to play her game. I like that Charlie and Kenzie were giving Ben a bad time and teasing him about not writing his name.
No accidental names casting votes, Ben. Okay, so Charlie gets to the meat of the matter, what we were really looking for here. He says there are two paths. He can go with Ben, Kenzie, and Liz and target Maria and Q, or he can stick with Maria the whole game. And he's describing, once again, that dilemma that he's wrestling with.
And that he seemed to go in more of a dreamlike state of, I could go all the way from the beginning to the end with my friend Maria. And I was thinking, no, Charlie, no.
He snapped out, right? He said, can't waffle, got to get that laser focus going.
Yes, he did eventually, but I wasn't sure he was going to.
Okay, 2 challenges in this 2-day cycle penultimate episode. Day 22, we get the reward challenge. There's a bunch of obstacles, and there's a classic tilt-a-maze puzzle at the end. So they got to collect the ball that's in the bag that they're going to use in the maze at the end as they navigate through a series of obstacles. And it's the reward starts out, the only thing he tells them is it's Chinese takeout at the sanctuary where good things happen. So they start with a high step obstacle, got to untie some knots, and then they've got the bag that's holding the ball they need for the maze at the end.
While they move forward.
Yeah, so they've got to keep pushing it down the rope as they go over a ladder bridge, and then they've got to crawl under a final obstacle.
Yeah, and it wraps around each rung of that.
Multiple. It makes it
very
tedious.
Yes, it does.
And sometimes you have to slack the rope that it's moving over in different areas just so that you can progress because the tension on it's tight in different spots.
Yeah, Maria took off in the lead right off.
Got first to the maze.
Yeah.
But then Q and Charlie, Liz, Kenzie, and eventually Ben got there. I liked when Liz got there, she was coaching herself. She said, slow down, you can do this. And we see Maria and Q getting close to the end, and then they both drop. Sort of some classic maze drama.
There were quite a lot of those drops.
Yeah.
Drops.
What did you think of Liz's choice for how to solve the maze, to find her path?
I thought she was showing off the blood on her leg. Look.
I'm bleeding.
I hurt myself. I'm bleeding.
Everyone see.
Yeah. It kind of felt like that, because why wouldn't you do that? I could see, doing it with your hand and one eye kind of this way and this way, if that's what you were doing, but put your leg up there. That's very awkward. So, okay. Anyway, Charlie wins.
Yes.
Thank you, Charlie.
And then Probst ups the ante.
Yep.
In addition to Chinese takeout, there will be letters from home. So cue the emotional impact. Not cue the player, but cue as in cue it up.
Okay, he chooses Liz because he says Liz can eat Chinese food. And he's going to take Kenzie because it was supposed to be her wedding day. He apologizes to everyone. Maria is visibly upset.
Turned her back and started crying.
Yeah, and even Kenzie reached over and touched her and said something.
Oh, before she got called up, yeah. Yeah, Charlie said it was
after.
an easy choice before the letters were announced. It's just, let's have the other 3 who didn't get to eat, go eat.
Yeah, well, I don't think that was his real reason. His real reason was to talk strategy.
But he had the perfect cover.
Yes, he did have the perfect cover.
And Probst's not missing the opportunity to get in there.
How are you feeling,
Yes,
Maria?
how does that make you feel? We know the parents' love is special and strong, so he sets her up for her declaring that it's breaking her heart in 3 pieces.
I don't doubt that her heart was breaking. Not at all. And I think she did the very best she could under the circumstances, because even though later on she tells us that she and Charlie had agreed not to
take each other. Yeah, to call that
and
extra attention signal.
You know, she kind of knew at that point that he wouldn't.
Yes.
That's probably why she was trying very hard to win.
And I'm sure it bites a little too, because it's the consequence of your actions coming back to roost also.
Yeah.
She had the pizza reward. There's some logic in having her skip this one just because of that.
Right.
So she gets to kick herself on top of all that.
Yeah,
Emotional
I'm sure all of
punch.
it. And she understood it all, but it did make it feel a bit better.
Yeah.
Okay, so day 22 still, they are at the sanctuary. And Liz is so tickled that she's been picked.
Yes, I'm picked, she declared.
I am working with people who want to work with me.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That was like right on the borderline to me of
Don't burst her bubble.
taking a little too much credit for someone, for a pity pick, which is what she had been angling for the whole time.
Yeah, well.
Certainly better than pizza for her, because there's beef options in the Chinese takeout.
Well, and Charlie lets them know it was the hardest decision he's had to make, is to not take Maria.
Seeing and feeling the end to their Malcolm and Denise alliance that they had established on day 3.
But she'll be fine. She won't hold it against me.
No. Cut to
but
Maria.
all of a sudden, seems okay that she can vote him out.
Yes. So back at camp, when they cut to Maria sniffling, and that's when she talked about how they had planned on not taking each other. But she does feel robbed. She says she feels hurt.
Well,
painful.
She could see her boys writing the letters and wanting Mama to get their letters, and which she will eventually, probably.
Yes. Yeah, they all do when they get to...
Yeah.
Either when it's over or when they get to
Yeah.
Ponderosa, yeah. Yeah, she declares it's going to light a fire. Okay. Cut back to Sanctuary. They get the letters. Cue the waterworks.
Yeah, Liz didn't think she would cry, but she got her letter from her daughter, Chelsea. And, of course, she cries.
Yes, tear time.
And she told us again that her daughter's the reason that she applied, because she dared her to.
Yeah.
And Kenzie was very emotional.
She was
and
overwhelmed,
crying.
wasn't she?
Yeah, she was. I guess she really needed someone who's that in control and has been since they were very young of their life.
14 or 15? She's been...
Yeah, like 15, I think she said. And which I understand, so was I. And so I really felt like that was a very hard thing that I hadn't really realized that she was going through out there, is to give up control of everything she worked so hard for.
And to put her wedding on hold and all that. And
Oh, that's huge. All those details to be, I don't think I could have done that.
Charlie seemed to get supercharged by his letters, because they all told him play to win. And he knew that, yes, it was time. He had gotten his message. He's going to have to turn on Maria.
Yep, and he was crying too, he said, with every letter, every one he got. And both Liz and Kenzie just keep thanking him. They feel so grateful for this gift. So, and Kenzie had said, I will never forget it. I thought, oh, we're going to have to record that. We'll see.
Yeah.
We will see.
Charlie can ask for that tape at the final tribal council, huh?
And Charlie tells us he really wants to cement his relationship with Liz and Kenzie, because he already knows that Ben's on board. I was like, oh no.
Liz tells us that she was looking forward to this chance for some strategy discussion without having to look shady.
Yep.
And that she's open to getting Maria before Q, even though we wouldn't believe that coming out of her.
Yeah. Okay, back at camp. Q.
Wait, before we do that, Kenzie highlighted that Maria made fire the night before, and that was significant.
Yes, it was, and made them want her out even more.
Even more. Charlie said that has cemented it. He's got a lock on this with Kenzie and Liz. Okay, now back to NuiNui.
Q needs an idol. He said, I don't need a reward. I need an idol.
Q and Maria are feverishly hunting for an idol. I don't remember seeing Ben at all during this, do you?
No. He was probably trying to nap. I don't know, but Q seemed to be a lot more, it's my time, it's coming, I need it now, than he's been being. He hasn't seemed to.
He was way more engaged.
Yes.
Than what
much more.
the descriptions we were getting, where he was just hanging out on the beach, not talking to anyone.
Or at least they showed us more.
Yeah. So he said he had been hunting for days and days and hours on top of that, but he told himself calm down, and sure enough, he found it.
Well, I was shocked because
You had been saying last week
I know they
in the recap
said that.
And in listener feedback, I think you mentioned it again. That
Yeah, because they said it. I don't know who said it, but they said it.
You were convinced there were going to be
this is the final of the season.
No more idols. And then here we go.
And then here's
Q's
an
got
idol.
an idol.
Do you think they just couldn't resist to see if one more person would go home with an idol?
I got to go back
again?
and get the exact statement that had you so convinced there were going to be no more. I just went with what you were saying. I didn't remember it, so we'll have to go back and see if it was just somebody else saying it and they were just wrong. That's most likely what it was.
But I don't know. They said it more than once, I'm sure.
Okay, so he's got it. He debates just a tiny bit, and then he runs and tells Maria, and he tells her...
Should I tell her? Yes, I have to.
Tells her that he'll play it for her if they need to. And so that was big for Maria.
For her.
Yeah.
And guess what? Q was really now her number one instead of Charlie.
Yeah, Maria. So they're talking strategy. Maria says Liz next. And Q says, well, I hope Charlie's not coming for us. So he planted the seed and it grew quick. Mm-hmm. It sprouted up and just took off.
Well, and she even said, well, he's so sweet. He could win hands down.
Would he need to go next? She asked first. And then, yeah, he's so sweet. He would win it.
Well, Q's not stupid, and he knows he's his competition.
They decide if Charlie doesn't win, then he's going. And they did this great mirrored confessional back and forth cutting between Charlie and Maria at this point, where they were relating their alliance throughout the game, their friendship, how grateful they were, as they're both saying, yeah, I got to vote the other one out. This is it. Now's the time. I really like that.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Maria says, it's my game now.
Though, did you notice Charlie was the one that seemed to be feeling the guilt more so than Maria?
Yeah, I think she got over the guilt real quick.
Yeah, I think so too, but he was still feeling a little guilty.
Yeah, and he had a good cover story. They talked a little strategy at the sanctuary, but Liz and Kenzie really are just focused on getting Q out.
Yeah.
And that was easy for Maria.
But good on her for asking. Mm-hmm. That was a good question to ask.
Charlie tells us in their Malcolm-Denise-like alliance, it's time for Malcolm to win this one.
But Maria is just sure that Charlie won't vote her out.
Mm-hmm. Seems to be. On to the immunity challenge on day 23. We get a slow-mo boat arrival shot. That was nice. Very cinematic, action movie-ish as they come rolling in. Yeah. Okay. So they're going to have to climb a high tower, and jump off and race over obstacles, the classic water net that ends up tripping people inevitably. And then they've got to solve a vertical dolphin jigsaw puzzle at the end. So it's a new puzzle. We haven't seen this one before, which is great. Well,
and I asked you, is Maria good at puzzles? And you said, no, I don't think she is.
I didn't recall her being good at puzzles, no. But it's been a while since they had done one.
Yeah.
I remember Charlie was pretty good at it. At least that was what my memory was. So they had that balance beam, the classic Cerie challenge at the end of the obstacles before you get up to work on the puzzle. And Maria just blew right over it.
Oh, she did. Charlie
Perfect
fell
balance.
Right away. He was in lead.
Everybody
thought, yeah, go Charlie. And wow, he fell off right away, and Maria just kept going.
Kenzie, the littlest one out there, lowest center of gravity, completely unable to navigate the balance beam.
She was very tentative, though.
And she's immediately crawling on hands and knees and still falling in, but eventually
Maria
she
should have fallen as fast as she went through there.
Yeah.
She just kind of barreled on through.
Ben surprisingly got there second and took off and was making some headway on the puzzle. So we had a little bit of drama for a few beats. Yeah, but
then he seemed to just stop.
He stalled.
And was like looking at bins or something to try to... It's like once you do that, I think you stop seeing things.
You said Ben was looking at bins.
No, Charlie was looking at bins.
Oh, okay. All right.
Said he was looking at bins.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
then that's all Maria needed. She caught up. She had figured out what to look for in terms of the colored pieces of the dolphin, so she was able to build up and then fill out the last few pieces at the bottom.
I was actually cheering for Ben. I was like, he's won nothing. Come on, Ben.
Yeah, then he lost
Way
it.
to go.
Maria wins her third individual immunity, so she's crushing it. Challenge Beast, the declarations come out. Probst declares it went from competitive to a complete blowout.
And you are in the finale.
Maria says in her confessional at the end of the challenge there that she was rock bottom yesterday, but she found a fierce determination that kept her going.
Yep, and that's what got her there.
Oh, it was Charlie that had the confessional part. That was her answering a Probst question, wasn't it?
It was.
So Charlie says his first reaction was, Maria's a boss. Go, Maria. And then it was, okay, I got to pivot.
Can't get her out.
Yeah, I got to pivot. What's the next best move? Target Q, which looked like that he was done. We both thought, oh no, Charlie's gone.
Yeah, I thought he was totally gone.
Because we both forgot how these people approached the game this season. And we're thinking Q's going to play it and Charlie's going to be out of the game.
It's like, well, of course he's going to play it. That's why he fought frantically to find it. He's determined. Oh, he's got the power. And Lily.
Okay, after the challenge, we're back at camp before Tribal Council. Everybody congratulates Maria, Challenge Beast, woohoo, good job. And then we see Kenzie spreading the word on the vote.
She's very frustrated that Maria keeps winning.
Yep, we see her hand signal that the letter Q to Ben, and we see Ben mouth to Charlie Q. Yep, it's coming together. Kenzie declares the court jesters are going to take down King Q. And it looked like they were just in for a hurting.
Well, and Ben had said, it's Ben time to get rid of Q, but Maria just kept convincing us. And he said, then it finally dawned on him that, oh, duh, she's in an alliance with him. That's why she keeps convincing us to do somebody else.
The panic attacks, the lack of sleep is definitely affecting his ability to strategize and recognize. We see Q talking to Maria, and he opens a conversation with, I am locked in with you. That's a great way to start a strategic conversation.
Yep.
And he says, we're taking out Charlie.
Okay, here's the real actors. The Academy Awards.
Goes to
Liz and Kenzie.
When they're talking to
Maria. Yeah, sure, you bet. We vote Charlie out.
Yep,
it's got to be Charlie.
He's the one to beat.
He's the one. Yeah, we can't beat him.
He gets there, he wins.
You bet. Sure, we'll
and then
vote
Maria
for him.
concludes, I knew this day would come.
And she bought it hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, they really landed it right there, didn't they?
Yep.
Yeah,
that's
but
what I said.
There's a knock-on effect coming though. So that's like the one punch. There's a two punch coming. We see an interesting strategy discussion between Charlie and Ben, where Charlie is saying, "Well, what's the next play? What happens to us if we take Q out?
Yeah, will she join with the girls
leave Maria
and take
in
us
the dark?
Out? Yeah.
So he decides, look, I got to bring Maria in. So we see Charlie go talk to Maria, and he asks her, would you consider Q? And she does it perfectly. She says, yes. Just don't look me in the eye, she says in the confessional. But she answered yes about taking out Q immediately, no hesitation.
Well, of course. He's supposed to be her number one.
Even asked Charlie, you think we can get everyone to vote Q? And Charlie says, yes, I do. And then we see it, the two punch. Maria talking to Q, she says, you'll be here tomorrow.
You will absolutely be here tomorrow.
Translation, you don't need to play the idol. Now, Q tells us, if I feel it, if things go hinky, I will play that.
It.
But I think she had him.
But he wanted to save it like everybody else.
So he could lock in that final four. The temptation was just too much.
Because he could play it till final five. So, okay.
You see Maria and Charlie do a last-minute check. Is it Q? Yeah, it's Q. That was good. I like seeing that because we hear them talk about all those last-minute checks that you have to do when you see people working actively the whole time, circling back and, doubling back and checking with everyone on your vote.
I didn't get it at first, why Maria didn't just tell him to play it, but then it dawned on me later, she totally believed the girls.
Yes.
I was like, now I get it.
That's why I said it was a 1-2 punch. She was so convinced that she convinced Q. Yeah.
Well, she did. Totally.
Okay, Tribal Council, night 23. Ben and Liz come in to Tribal Council hooting it up.
Yeah.
Liz says she's going to light it up tonight, and Ben declares, we got a show for you tonight, Probst. And he says, well, I didn't bring any popcorn or a cushion.
Oh, well.
Yeah. So we recap the reward. Charlie declares, Probst, you did a bait and switch. You dirty dog.
Yep.
And he then pivots over to Maria. Maria, you were hurt, weren't you? So we get a little bit of that. Maria, how emotionally upset she was. And then Charlie says he was really impressed with the folks that didn't go on the reward and how selfless they were.
And that they knew they would soon get to see their family.
And then probably the funniest part of the whole episode was Kenzie describing the dysfunctional family. Charlie the dog and Aunt Maria and the two brothers that are always picking on her, and with Grandma Liz.
Grandma Liz.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Kenzie.
That you have to. Well, Charlie's a dog.
I know. I heard
in
it.
the dysfunctional family. That was, I don't know. That just struck me as really funny. I enjoyed that part. Probst celebrates Maria's immunity win, third win. She's one step away from being in an elite group, he declares, if she wins one more time.
Well, but Maria follows up by saying that win was driven by not winning the love.
Mm-hmm. The letters from home.
So she might not have won had she not had that fierce drive.
Mm-hmm. Cried all the rest of the afternoon, she tells him.
Yep. But she channeled it into fierce determination. And she was determined.
Yeah,
for sure.
She did great. But Probst looks over and says, see that, jury? You see all those blind sides?
Yep.
And he uses that as a setup for his question to Charlie. Does it get harder making these choices who you're going to vote for as the numbers dwindle down towards final tribal council?
Well, Charlie did okay. Well, you got to figure out who's good at what and, who you want to...
Lots of criteria,
blah, blah, blah.
yeah, to weigh.
Yep.
And if you tell the wrong person, your plan might blow up in your face and it can get flipped on you super easy.
But Maria said, well, you basically got to figure out who you want to sit by.
Alliances weren't a focus for this group. It's really about, like you said, who's going to be here tomorrow.
Then Kenzie could not resist telling everyone about how Ben wrote her name down by mistake.
Back that bus up and run him over again. What's Ben's defense? I was drunk on pizza. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Probst even pointed out, you were drinking soda. There was no beer with your pizza, so... Food comas don't count.
And Probst wanted to know from Q, are alliances over?
Yeah, he was poking at the whole alliance idea a lot.
Yeah, but Q was like, well, we have we are voting as a group.
They're temporary licenses.
They're temporary alliances.
Yeah.
Next week, we don't know who will vote in the group.
When Liz was asked if she agreed, she said, yeah, there's power couples.
Well, she took that opportunity to say, I'm not in an alliance. I can't win challenges. I can't make fire.
Don't vote for me.
Don't vote me.
Yeah.
Keep me around. I can't do any of that. I thought, okay, well, that was good.
Charlie declares there's a lightning strike coming. There's a lot of good players here, and everyone's waiting to see where the lightning's going to hit.
But it is time to vote.
And something you don't see that often, but we have seen before, they actually show all of the votes.
Yeah, that's very unusual.
So then the question was really, is Q going to play that idol or not?
Yes. And he did not.
Q fifth out with an idol in his pocket. Yeah.
Still blindsided me. I mean, of course, that was first thing went through my mind when he found one.
This is the most fitting way for him to get voted out. Yeah. Yes. With an idol in his pocket. Yeah. Deja-Q.
Surely they're talking about this nonstop at Ponderosa, right? Mm-hmm. They all have idols. Of course, they probably made them give them up, but...
It's probably too soon, though, to really acknowledge it.
Yeah, to appreciate the irony of it all.
The severity of the blunders. Yes. What a mess. What a cast. Record setters they are.
It was just plain and simply funny to me.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is funny.
This is the right way for Q to go.
I actually enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. I mean, I still had a 3-point week.
Yeah, me
but
too.
I was going to anyway. Mm-hmm. I knew that in order not to, to have enough picks for next week, I had to lose one this week or next week, so it didn't really matter. So I thought I wasn't going to put Q safe because I thought he could go, but that's not what my picks allowed me to do because I'd already chosen Liz 5 times.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, well, here we go then. But I still enjoyed it. Didn't matter. I just enjoyed it. It was fun. And it was fun seeing his surprise.
Yes. The reaction was perfect.
But wait, they threaten that every week, Jeff, and it doesn't go down that way. Someone else goes home.
The confident smirk at first, and then the dawning realization that your game is over.
It's like, but Q, no one else had an idol. It had to be you.
Yeah. Smokescreen got you, Q.
Oh, I still think it's funny. I'm still laughing.
What do you think of our final 5?
Oh, well, I actually think it's just fine. I don't have a problem with it. I expect that they will try to target Maria. If she can't win everything, I think she goes.
Mm-hmm. Sure. The first time she loses. Yes.
Now, you would think she would do some heavy talking with Charlie.
Well, we didn't talk about it, but she was quite somber when she saw how the votes played out.
Yep.
She knew that she had been left out, that she had been played, that she had turned. And as far as she knows, she's betrayed Charlie. Charlie's not betrayed her.
Exactly. That's all she knows. She the one.
Going to have an uncomfortable discussion when they get back.
Well, I did think about it when they showed her saying, I've been in on the right side of every single vote.
Yeah.
And I went,
how much do you think this particular event undid her, what she'll be able to claim were she to make final tribal council? How much does this kind of undermine her accomplishments? It doesn't dismantle them fully, right?
I don't think it does. No, I don't.
But she's definitely took a hit.
She took a hit for sure because she made a move and it didn't work, and it's going to come back on her.
So do you think that, does she fall behind Ben and Kenzie and Liz? Certainly she falls behind Charlie at this point.
For the jury?
Yeah.
Not necessarily, no.
I think this is a bitter jury, though.
No, I don't think that she will fall below Ben or Liz. Maybe Kenzie and maybe Charlie.
Well,
but
I think she definitely falls below Charlie.
She's still got a good resume. She still does. She took her shot. She tried to make the move. She did make successful moves. Mm-hmm. But is the jury going to be bitter toward her?
Yes.
That's the thing we don't know.
I
sure.
think yes.
And
absolutely.
They're not bitter at Sweet Charlie.
Right. Or Kenzie.
Even though they might have been on it, people like both of them.
Or bungling Ben.
They still
with his panic
like
attacks,
Ben, but I don't see him giving him the money.
And it just depends on who's there.
Giving Liz money.
No, that doesn't seem likely either.
Especially since you've got 4 of the old NuiNui Tribe. Mm-hmm. They're not giving her money after all she said in the early days.
Right. Tevin is going to campaign
not needing money.
So hard against her.
No money.
Right.
So I can't see any of those 4 old NuiNui.
So she's goat number 1. She's it. She's the most prominent goat here. Do you think Ben's a goat?
I kind of do, because he just hasn't done. He's been strategic.
Liz has pooped, so she might.
She might have new powers.
Yeah, might be able to really perform in challenges.
I don't think that will make a difference to them. So especially not Venus, Hunter, Tevin, and Soda.
That's part of her story, though.
Like, no.
Pooped on day 22. Hoorah!
And I made it. Yeah.
What a resume.
Food, yeah. But I think the biggest, Maria's still a threat. There's no doubt about that.
Okay.
And winning all of the, if nothing else, the women are just going to love that, she's like Charlie said, she's been a boss. She's won
I can tell you one woman that isn't interested in any of that at all.
Venus.
Yes. She had come really hard at her, for sure.
Yeah. Well, okay. Then you would expect it. And Maria wouldn't vote for Venus either. So, okay, that's a wash. So who would Venus? I think Venus, well, she might be mad at everyone now for voting them off. It's hard for them to let go of it once if they credit someone with their blind side.
Yeah.
That's why Kenzie made certain that Tiffany knew. I didn't know.
Right.
I did not know.
I think Kenzie she might represent the biggest threat to Charlie.
Yeah, I think
to a Charlie win. I don't think it is Maria anymore.
Well, it could be, but I kind of think if she doesn't win everything, they're going to get her out. And then I think it's between Kenzie and Charlie.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, let's see. Next time on Survivor, Kenzie tells us this will be quick. She is a secret cute assassin.
Yeah, I'm a little cute assassin.
Maria says it's do or die time. Go for it. So these are the classic ones. So that's one of those you hear every time from somebody. And then here's another unique one from Ben. It's such a vibe, electric almost, he tells us.
Okay.
Another unique one from Liz, holy hot dog on a stick.
And Jeff was saying this could be worth $1 million right here during the challenge.
And then Charlie gives the other line that we frequently hear. So Maria and Charlie both kind of gave the typical lines. Charlie declares, I'm so close.
I really want to win this game.
This friggin' game. Yeah.
And Prope says there will be 2 immunity challenges, 2 tribal councils, and they will make fire.
Yes. Who do you think is going to make fire?
Oh, and they went back to camp, usually at 5.
That's right. Yeah.
They send them to a new camp and start over, and they just let them go back home.
Yeah. So. Good catch.
Who's
going to make fire? They got to get rid of Maria.
Ooh, yeah, definitely got to get rid of Maria. Who else makes fire?
Kenzie made fire for Ben when he had his first panic attack.
Yeah.
And that's why Kenzie noticed that Maria made fire.
Well, I think they said Charlie's made fire, right?
We know Liz can't make fire. We've seen her fail multiple times and cry.
Well, and she flat out said it in the last tribal. I can't make fire.
Right.
So guess who's going to fire, Liz? Or maybe they'd rather just take her with them and if I were Charlie and he won, I would make Kenzie and Ben do it, or Kenzie and Liz. No,
so
he wants her to lose. So I think he would pit Ben and Kenzie to make fire and take Liz, because I do not think she's a threat to win.
Right. She's no vote goat.
And Ben Mike could beat.
So in that scenario, you got Maria out 5th. She loses the next community challenge, but she's gone.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Otherwise, she's the one. You got to have somebody who can beat her making fire.
Yeah, or take her with. Ooh, that's bad. They only have 1 challenge to get her out. Yikes. That's right, because then it goes to fire.
Mm-hmm.
Eee, my. Well, I don't know. I got to think on that one about 5th, because when she's determined, she does do pretty well. Yep. So they might not get her out.
Who do you ideally, Charlie or Kenzie, have to go against her to make fire? Right?
Probably if she doesn't win. If she wins, no, because if she wins, she don't have to make fire. So I would.
I'm having Charlie win
the challenge.
Yeah.
Yes, well, you don't get to choose.
No.
I would have Charlie win too. But if Maria wins, if I were her, I would pit Charlie and Kenzie.
Sure.
And try to, at least get one of them out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure she would, wait though. No, she'd have to vote somebody out before then.
Right.
I would try to vote Charlie out before the fire making, and then I would try to get Kenzie out. But I don't know if Ben can make fire or not. But I would still pit her against her. So, because if Maria wins the first challenge, then that's still 5. They got to vote somebody out first.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I think she would try to go after Charlie again. But I don't.
Ben's been positioned as a sacrificial lamb. The struggle.
Yeah.
The panic attacks.
The others might, if she wins that challenge, then
Who's she? Be clear.
If Maria wins the first immunity challenge, then I feel that the girls, at least, would go with her to vote Charlie out. Because they'll recognize if we can't get Maria, we need to get Charlie.
Probably.
So then I think Charlie goes.
But it would also be compassionate to take Ben out, put him out of his misery.
They're not going to do it. They're going to get Charlie out if Maria wins.
Yep. How about a JSFL update?
Well, okay, I can do that. Hatter is still in first place with 57 points. 18 people lost their USB. 148 people lost a safe point. Me. 67 people earned a vote off point.
You know they're excited. They finally got that Q vote off.
Q out.
Yeah.
Side challengers, we have a new first place with 51 points, Jeremiah. With 48 points, you have Brandon and Robert. 47, Drew, Rebecca, and Stacy. With 46, we have Lisa Ray. 47, Justin. And with 44, we have Chris and Parker.
Parker called it. He predicted it. The summer camp curse is in effect, knocking his score down, affecting his ability to make picks.
I'm not sure that's exactly what he said, but okay. Anyway, he is in the bottom.
Yes.
Right now.
In the basement.
But
yes. Things can change dramatically at the end.
The finale.
Yeah.
There's a lot of points to be made. There's 55 available points plus whatever points you have for a USB if yours wins. So that's a lot of points.
You better believe it. Hey, we're looking forward to hearing what you thought about the penultimate episode. How excited are you that Q finally got voted out? I'm expecting to hear some of that in the feedback this week. The voicemail lines 206-350-1547, toll free 844-643-8737. He's probably received the most vote outs in JSFL history, the vote out pick. You can record your own audio and attach it to an email, or you can just send us the email and we'll read it into the show on your behalf. The email is joanneandstacyshow@gmail.com. Feedback's due noon Pacific time on Saturday, and we ask that you keep it in that 3-minute range.
I am still laughing, and I think it's a little bit poetic justice that Q got taken out that way, and that this season
this was the theme of the season,
yes,
and he was so integral as the smoke screen, and that it took him out.
And
yeah,
then, yes.
We're looking forward to hearing what you thought too. What's your final 5 order? Who's going to win it all? Who's going to end up making fire? Looking forward to hearing from you. Anything else?
Nope.
Have a good one.